This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus. Thank you for joining us tonight. Our top story this evening, a piece of artwork is at the center of a controversy in Sarasota. There are some who say the artwork is filled with racism brought on by a prominent architect. ABC7's Rick Adams attended a Black Lives Matter meeting this evening at the Goodwill in Newtown where this issue was discussed.
Well, there were certainly a lot of emotions here at this meeting. A piece of artwork brought the topic of racism front and center. This is the artwork that has a lot of folks all fired up, especially in Newtown. It's something that brought Deidre Green Larkins with Black Lives Matter to tears at a special meeting Monday night.
It's disrespectful to the people of the Newtown community, to myself who grew up in Newtown, and to all of my family and friends who still live here. And a lot of people believe the piece of art in question is filled with racism. It features a body with the colored letters MLK and a baseball hat with the word chocolate on it, along with plastic bags full of white powder.
This issue has always been important. We didn't wake up today, or shall I say, I didn't wake up today and say I want to be black. This is how God made me. So no race is better than the next, and how dare another race degrades another race. Local architect Jerry Sparkman is responsible for the artwork, which was part of an exhibit at the Center for Architecture in Sarasota. It has since been removed. Sparkman did issue an apology to the crowd that was on hand for the Black Lives Matter gathering, but declined a request for an interview. New College of Florida student Billy Cooney felt it was important to attend Monday's meeting after seeing the piece of artwork.
I found it troubling. Thought it represented the larger white ignorance and employed black stereotypes of African-American neighborhoods such as Newtown.
During the meeting, Jerry Sparkman and Natasha Clemens actually shared a big hug to show unity. And this Black Lives Matter Minnesota group is hopeful they can continue to work with Jerry Sparkman to help fix what they say is a horrible injustice. Reporting from the Newtown section of Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Rick. The Sarasota County School District Superintendent is speaking out about a school bus driver who is facing charges for battery following an incident with a 13-year-old student. Leonard Villari was removed as a bus driver after he allegedly touched a girl's hair and neck in the Venice Middle School cafeteria. Villari was taken off of his route. However, during the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office investigation, the driver was reassigned to another route. Superintendent Dr. Todd Bowden says that decision was made by Transportation Services Director Ellery Gerard. Now he could face a 3-day suspension without pay.
We talk about safety and security as the #1 objective in our school district, and I believe in this particular instance we failed in that, and I've made that perfectly clear to him, is that I believe his actions in returning this driver to duty are inappropriate, and I believe that there's some accountability on his part.
The school board will vote on this suspension next month. Meanwhile, Villari has been removed from driving a bus, and we're told he is no longer around any students. The city of Sarasota's parking director is on paid administrative leave pending an internal investigation. Mark Lyons is accused of steering a $100,000 art project to his son-in-law. When the Public Art Committee couldn't decide between two artists for the State Street parking garage, they asked Lyons what he thought. Lyons called Michael Parker's design unrealistic. That was one of the artists. Mark Krukey, the other, was ultimately selected for the project. After the meeting, it was revealed that Krukey is Lyons' son-in-law. He was not available for an interview, but said in a statement, "I think he was just doing his job. I think it had nothing to do with the fact that I was his son-in-law." And now for a check on our forecast, let's head over to meteorologist Steve Newman, who's in for Bob tonight.
Haley, boy, it was blustery this afternoon and a little bit of this evening behind a cold front that is now passing into the Bahamas. And those gusty winds are beginning to slowly subside. Where instead of being around 20 miles an hour, they're more like 15 to 16 miles an hour in the last hour. And the showers we had about 1, 2, 3 o'clock that really didn't produce anything but a few sprinkles in southern Sarasota County and Charlotte County have now moved on east, and we will be dry for the rest of tonight. Currently 69 degrees at the airport. dew point 56. That is dry air. You can feel the dryness in the air. There's more of a wind chill when we have dew points that low. And look at the winds now northwest at 14 instead of 20, which is where we were during our earlier newscast. Taking a look at our high today, 80, last night's low 73, and overnight lows tonight will dip down to about 65 degrees across the region. The complete forecast and the hint of our next chance of rain coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Steve. New developments tonight involving a teacher accused of kidnapping a teenager as Elizabeth Thomas's family opens up about what she went through while the two were on the run. ABC's Emily Rao has the latest.
A quiet Tad Cummins appearing in federal court Monday in California. The 50-year-old sitting next to his attorney, silent and only nodding when asked about the charges. Federal prosecutors say the 50-year-old planned and executed an audacious scheme. Calling the former teacher a flight risk, they say he planned to take Elizabeth Thomas south of the border and procured a small watercraft and conducted a test run to cross into Mexico across the water from San Diego. 15-year-old Thomas and Cummins disappeared last month, police saying at the time the two were involved in a sexual relationship. The pair found late last week nearly 2,500 miles away in a remote area of Northern California in this isolated cabin, a local man tipping off police.
Still on food I gave him.
Inside that cabin, leftover food along with camping gear and toilet paper. Elizabeth's dad, Anthony, speaking exclusively to ABC News.
She had lost some weight for sure. He had not been feeding her as well as they should have. She said they were eating flowers and things.
Thomas has a long road ahead of her.
Sometimes she'll be happy and laughing and back to the same old girl, and then she'll be sometimes just in a fetal position crying. It's been a roller coaster for her.
Cummins did not enter a plea. He's expected to be extradited to Tennessee and faces 10 years to life in prison, plus a $250,000 fine if convicted. Emily Rao, ABC News, New York.
In Washington, Congress, facing a tight deadline as funding runs out on Friday night. Congress must approve a spending bill before then in order to keep the government from shutting down. But the president is demanding that the budget also include money to build a wall at the Mexican border. Democrats are saying there is no way they will agree to money for the wall. However, the White House says they're optimistic that a deal can be reached by the deadline.
We feel very confident that they understand the president's priorities and that we'll come to an agreement by the end of Friday.
Saturday will mark President Trump's 100th day in office. Before that milestone is reached, the Trump administration is working this week on reviving the health care plan. They're also promising a new tax plan will be released on Wednesday. Meanwhile, former President Obama made his first public appearance today since he left office in January. During a 90-minute forum at the University of Chicago, where he used to teach, Obama focused on one of his favorite subjects, civic engagement, and what comes next for him.
The single most important thing I can do is to help in any way I can prepare the next generation of leadership to take up the baton and to take their own crack at changing the world.
The former president was joined on stage by young leaders for a wide-ranging discussion on civic engagement and bridging divides between political parties. Obama plans to appear at a number of events in the coming days and weeks. Straight ahead, Steve Newman will be in for Bob tonight with the official Suncoast forecast, plus how the outcome of this year's legislative session could benefit one historic property in Manatee County. And the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission making some changes to encourage more people to find and capture Burmese pythons. What they're doing to get more people involved in this hunt.
We asked you, Suncoast, why do you like ABC7?
I like ABC7 because it's local.
It gives me all the local news. The local news, local weather.
It's so local and so community-driven.
Haley Wilgus does a great job.
John Scalzi, that's my guy.
Bob Harrigan is wonderful.
Stephanie's my favorite. I like Scott Dennis.
I like them all.
We're all very grateful that you cover what you do and you're here to participate with the community.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Weeknights at 5.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope.
and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
Or shop at Goodwill. I'm creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
Well, Steve, you can really feel the difference of the cool air out there for sure.
Yeah. And the windows were rattling earlier today, too.
With some
those
wind.
Yeah, winds. They're starting to slack off a little bit. They will reduce the rest of the night, too. But we have some great weather coming up. Taking a look at the Casey Key webcam today. Look at the palm trees there on the left. Look at them shake in the wind. Look at the pounding surf come in. Just get an idea of what it was like late in the afternoon to about sunset. And a beautiful sunset it was. And things will dry out for the next couple of days behind that front. Temperatures, because of those strong winds, are quite a bit cooler in some part of the state right now than they were 24 hours ago. For instance, 15 to 20 degrees cooler than normal up in northern Florida. Because the front has just cleared South Florida, temperatures are actually a little warmer than they were this time last night. Across our viewing area, not that big of a change, only 3, 4, 5 degrees cooler than they were at 11 o'clock last night. It's all because of a cold front that has passed the state. It was slow to go, and it produced a few showers in southern parts of our viewing area, but most of the rain was well down in South Florida. And it's attached to a hybrid low, part tropical merged with a middle latitude low, producing all kinds of rain through the Carolinas. It's just going to drench the Atlantic seaboard the next couple of days if you're unfortunate enough to be traveling up that way. And we have a widespread flash flood warning across a good deal of North Carolina. The darker green is flash flood watch for the rest of that state. Now that's the extreme wet. This is the extreme dry. Look at the expanse of this parcel of dry air that has blown over the Mississippi Valley, across the Gulf of Mexico, deep into the Caribbean and the Atlantic. All of Florida is blanketed at mid and upper levels of the atmosphere in this dry air. So it's not going to rain anytime soon. And it's also, with the lower humidity, is going to feel not as humid. When will it rain again? Well, the earliest is about a week away, and this is the culprit, but it's got to travel from one end of the country to the other, dumping heavy snow, paralyzing blizzards around Denver, perhaps over the weekend, next weekend, an outbreak of tornadoes right across Tornado Alley, and by the time the front gets here, it doesn't look all that impressive. Now, admittedly, this is a week away, this forecast model, but it doesn't look like it bears much moisture once it does get here. Now, let's back up and look at the next 24 to 48 hours on this high-resolution futurecast. And there goes that gully washer up the Atlantic coast, just dousing the highly populated northeastern states, the I-95 corridor. And while it moves away, high pressure will bounce across the state, and once it goes to the east of us, the winds will ease up and turn to a southeasterly direction. That means they'll moderate. The temperatures will be much more comfortable as we move through the week, although by Friday we could touch 90 degrees again. As a result of that increased sunshine, it is getting the time of year where we start to warm up. Well, with this wind behind the front, there are small craft are advised to exercise caution for the north winds at 10 knots overnight, seas 2 to 4 feet. Bay and inland waters tomorrow will have a light chop. Going to the beach, there is a danger of high rip current risk tomorrow. 77 the beach temperature, water temperature 76. Pay attention to those flags at the public beach. If they tell you not to go in, don't go in. UV index will be 11. Here's my forecast for tonight. A partly cloudy sky is prevailing all night long, and the winds easing up 10 to 20 miles an hour. The average low would be 63 this time of year. Partly sunny and mild tomorrow. Our high temperature 78, a little cooler than normal, and only a 5 to 10 mile an hour wind. So the winds will continue to ease off as we move through tomorrow as well. Here's a 7-day outlook, what we've been waiting for. Look, 2 dry, meaning humidity, low humidity days. 78 the high on Tuesday, 80 on Wednesday. Then we start to warm back up to reach around 90 for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And maybe next Tuesday we could get our next chance of rain. Haley?
Thank you, Steve. New legislation making its way through the State House and Senate could require high school students to brush up on their accounting skills before they can graduate. The bill would require students to earn half a credit in personal financial literacy. Supporters of the bill say that kids graduating high school today are often bombarded with credit card offers, car loans, and few know how to properly manage their bills.
It's just raising that level of awareness, savings, how to start a savings plan. Again, things that we just took for granted a lot of times that somewhat ignored in this day and age that are important.
Yes, they are very important. The Senate version of the bill is set for a final vote on Wednesday. The House has yet to schedule the measure for a floor vote. If passed, though, the bill would take effect for students entering 9th grade this fall. As the state legislative session winds down, the Myakka City Historical Society is waiting to find out if some money set aside in the state budget will head their way. Right now, they're waiting for a special grant to be approved by the state that would go toward restoring the Myakka City Schoolhouse. The $240,000 grant will allow the schoolhouse to be renovated to create a space for the public to use for concerts, meetings, community events, and rentals. Manatee County and the Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, they're all helping and hoping that this funding project will come through. If the grant is approved, the building could be open by the fall of next year. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is launching a new program to encourage more people to get involved in removing Burmese pythons from public land. Under the Python Pickup Program, those who report and remove pythons will be rewarded with a prize. Anyone can participate. People who remove pythons need to submit a photograph of the snake as well as the location where the snake was removed. For every submission received, participants will be entered into a monthly prize drawing beginning next month, as well as the grand prize drawing for a lifetime sportsman's license. Good luck out there. I will not be participating, but if you are, I wish you luck. Sports is next.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC7 and these sponsors.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Download ABC7's official Suncoast weather app onto all your devices so you can stay informed wherever you go. With our full-featured weather app, you get weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. The ABC7 official Suncoast weather app, sponsored by 1 Hour Air. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download yours today. ABC7, My Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch My Suncoast News wherever you are, on our live stream, on our newly redesigned MySuncoast.com, and a brand new ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, and dining with recipes and all the hottest Suncoast restaurants. Visit MySuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for iOS and Android.
I entered into real estate to help people. I would like to invoke a trust in people that I will do everything in my power to help them navigate the process of either buying or selling a home. Well, I know how stressful buying a home can be. I've bought and sold properties in the past before I was an agent. I want you to be able to trust me to stay in contact with you, be available to you whenever you have questions. My name is Kimberly, and I want to be your real estate agent.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service, quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Now, sports.
After almost a week at home, the Rays are now up in Baltimore, beginning a 3-game series against the Orioles. In the top of the first, it is Tampa on the board as Corey Dickerson hits a home run, bringing the Rays up 1-0. Doesn't take long for Baltimore to recover, tying up the game in the bottom of the third with a run by Seth Smith. The next inning, a line drive from Shane Peterson allows 2 runs to bring the Rays ahead. The Orioles follow up with 2 home runs, though, in the bottom of the 6th. They end up winning the game 6-3. Some bad news for Charlotte stone crab fans. Due to the dry conditions and these high fire risks, the team has decided to postpone the post-game fireworks show that was planned for this Saturday. The game is still scheduled, though, just not the fireworks show itself. This marks the 2nd consecutive fireworks show the Stone Crabs have had to postpone. However, all of the fans who attend Saturday's game will be given a voucher to attend a future fireworks game this season. A makeup date will be announced in the coming weeks. In Tennessee, NASCAR saw the opposite problem. The Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway had to be postponed yesterday due to heavy rainfall and flooding. The green flag finally dropping at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Kyle Larson pulls away to get the early lead, winning the first stage of the race. It doesn't end up being a good day, though, for the Busch brothers. Starting off at lap 54, Kurt Busch loses a front tire and hits Chris Buescher, taking him out of the race. Kyle Busch also getting knocked out of the race after hitting a wall at lap 209. And bad news for Junior Nation. Dale Earnhardt Jr. also hits the wall after losing oil pressure. He finishes 38th while his teammate Jimmy Johnson heads to victory lane. And take a look at this. The president of the Indiana Pacers riding in style. Larry Bird hit the streets of Indianapolis in an Indy car painted in team colors. He drove 4 blocks to deliver the Pacers' bid to host the 2021 NBA All-Star Game. The last time the team hosted the game was in 1985. And speaking of Indy cars, the IndyCar Series returns to Indianapolis next month for the Grand Prix of Indianapolis and the Indianapolis 500. Both of those races will be broadcast right here on ABC7. That's a look at sports. We'll have our lotto numbers right after this.
Introducing the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia, a performance masterpiece. Race-inspired handling and lightning-fast response times take your drive to the next level. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
We asked you, Suncoast, why do you like ABC7?
I like ABC7 because it's local.
It gives me all the local news, local weather.
It's so local and so community-driven.
Kelly Wilgus does a great job.
John Scalzi, that's my guy.
Bob Harrigan is wonderful. Stephanie's my favorite.
I like Scott Dennis.
I like them all.
We're all very grateful that you cover what you do and you're here to participate with the community.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
In the real estate business, trust is important. It's not just about money, it's a place where we live and create memories. Buying a home is such a big investment, you want to find the right one. You don't want to be sold a home, you want someone you can trust to help you find the right home. I am proud to work at an agency where these values matter. I would love to be your realtor. I am Chandra Boone and I'm a proud realtor at SWC Properties.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wannabe Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Giulia from Alfa Romeo. Appearance. Performance. Power. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
New tonight, Elton John is canceling more than a month's worth of upcoming shows after developing a bacterial infection during a tour in South America. It actually left him in intensive care for 2 nights. As he continues to recover, he's canceling all upcoming April and May dates for the Million Piano Show in Las Vegas, as well as a performance in California at the beginning of the month. The 70-year-old performer is expected to make a full recovery and does hope to return to a stage in England on June 3rd. Family Promise of Sarasota helps families and children who have lost their housing. They provide shelter, meals, and basic needs. And tomorrow, they will be receiving a little bit of help from Hollywood in a local fundraiser. Ben Vereen co-starred with Richard Gere in the movie Time Out of Mind. The 2 homeless men, that's what their roles were. The movie was screened at the Sarasota Film Festival a couple years ago. Vereen says he was deeply touched by the plight of the homeless people who he met while making this movie. So he's here to help Family Promise continue helping homeless families. He will be at the Family Promise breakfast tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. at Michael's on East.
When I walk down the street and I see my brother, my sister, my children begging in America, the richest country in the world, and we got this homeless problem. Thank God for the Family Promises.
You can hear Ben Vereen at Family Promise Breakfast tomorrow. As we mentioned, Michael's on East. He will be addressing the crowd there. He is always very spirited, if you couldn't tell from his interview, and should be very interesting to hear there at that event. A gathering of the best in Sarasota tonight as Selby Gardens hosted the annual Best of Sarasota party. The event is put on by Sarasota Magazine, and it honors the finalists and winners of a reader's poll for everything from best restaurant to best entertainment. Tonight's theme was Andy Warhol, giving Selby Gardens the perfect opportunity to announce their new plans for a new exhibit.
Well, what's exciting is the works of art we secured feature tropical hibiscus flowers, which is a perfect match for us, and we are going to transform Selby Gardens into a floral playground.
This exhibit, it will be Flowers in the Factory. It opens in February. It's the second exhibition in the Jean and Alfred Goldstein exhibition series. I'm going to be curious to see how they pull that off. That kind of pop art flower mixture.
They have flower spectaculars all the time
Yes,
at Selby.
they do.
That's what they're all about.
Right,
It's
right.
so great to go there.
All right. Well, hope everyone enjoyed Best of Sarasota tonight if you were out there, because the weather was spectacular
A little
for that.
breezy, but there's kind of sheltered there.
Right. Yes, definitely. We'll see you tomorrow.